All right, great story over at Kyle Kalinski's channel, Secular Talk. We did the story about Trump surrogate Anthony Scaramucci, who got destroyed by Chris Cuomo on CNN, and he was touting all sorts of debunked non-science about the climate. He also referenced our planet being 5,500 years old. It was bogus. We covered that. Here's another example of Chris Cuomo absolutely destroying another Trump surrogate, Sean Spicer. Let's take a look at what Kyle had to say, and let's take a look at what Sean Spicer had to say, and Chris Cuomo, the entire thing.
CNN's Chris Cuomo had on Trump surrogate Sean Spicer, whose name definitely sounds like a porn star name. Sean Spicer's as porny as it gets. And they went at it over Trump's corruption and his electoral win. Let's watch.
I get what the press wants, but the American people have understood exactly what they're getting, and they voted overwhelmingly for him. He has been very clear about what he owns, the role of his family, and everything else since he announced that he was running for president, and they overwhelmingly elected him with all of that on the table. So I understand a desire by some on the left, and frankly some in the media, to want to comb through certain documents that he has. But the American people are clearly satisfied with what they got, and not only on Election Day, but since he's been elected, his approval rating's gone up like 20-some-odd points. So not only have they elected him, they've become more and more pleased with the job that he's done, and he hasn't even assumed the office yet.
I thought you guys didn't like polls, but if we want to play with them, we know that more people are concerned about his business dealings than those who are not. We know that his approval rating is low compared to where other president-elects have been at this point. But let's dismiss the polls. You said they overwhelmingly voted for him. There is no definition of overwhelming that would meet the statistical criteria.
Electoral votes?
It's one of the lowest.
Sure there is.
It's one of the lowest electoral margins we've had. I think it's 46th out of 50 something. It's one of the lowest in the last few cycles we've had. He won. He's the president-elect. He will be the next president of the United States. But I'm saying, if you want to be straight about it and transparent, it wasn't overwhelming. And
no, if you look at, hold on, Chris, there is nobody on your network and the rest of the media that gave him a chance going into Election Day. None.
How is that relevant?
The headlines, Newsweek had.
How does that make his win overwhelming?
Because to say that he was going to get crushed, Hillary Clinton was planning fireworks on the Hudson, everything was going to happen. He wins with 306 electoral votes, 9 of 13 battleground states, 2,300 counties, and you're saying you doubt whether that's overwhelming?
Yeah, because it's about 100,000. It's about 100,000 votes. It's one of the smallest electoral margins we've had, and he lost the popular vote by millions. But he won. I'm not disputing that, and I know you like that as a distraction. I'm not giving it to you today. What I'm saying is...
It's not a distraction,
of course
it's a
it is.
fact.
Of course it is, because you're assuming there's a premise involved that is absent from this discussion. There is no suggestion of delegitimizing the victory. What I'm saying is transparency, which you were touting yesterday, is woefully lacking where it matters most. We do not know
Chris,
what the business dealings are for the kids or for Trump. And you were supposed to tell us today, and you delayed it.
Damn. Okay, that was a rare good job on CNN. And credit to Chris Cuomo for that back and forth there, because that's what he should be doing all the time with all of his different political guests who are either representatives of politicians or they are the politician. So that is well done. Because he wouldn't let him get away. He's trying to wiggle out. He's like, no, let me explain this to you. So first, let's go to the claim of overwhelming victory. Chris is right. There's no definition of overwhelming victory that Trump's win was overwhelming. Even when you go to his strongest claim, which is the Electoral College, when you do the comparison between Trump's win in the Electoral College and the history of wins in the Electoral College, there's only John Kerry and George Bush and Al Gore were closer in modern times. So most of them, I mean, there were Electoral College wins of over 500 electoral votes. Bill Clinton won with, beat Bob Dole with, 361. Obviously, Obama beat Romney and Obama beat McCain with one was 332, and I forget what the other one was, but it was well over 306.
So this relates to a broader narrative that we've been talking a lot about that's actually backed up in a lot of polling, which is that many Trump supporters are living in an alternate reality. Many Trump supporters believe that Donald Trump won the popular vote, for example. Many Trump supporters are all of a sudden not concerned that a foreign power, according to numerous U.S. intelligence agencies, including the FBI and the CIA, interfered in our election specifically to help one particular candidate. The problem is this is working, and this has everything to do with people like Sean Spicer, which Kyle talked about in that video, and Anthony Scaramucci, who also faced off with Chris Cuomo, which is that the public, the Trumpists at large, don't even realize that they are being bamboozled because they have this echo chamber and they've been primed by Trump to be skeptical of all news media. Now, it's good to have healthy skepticism of news in the sense that you want to confirm, you want to independently look at a lot of different claims that are made on corporate media, on independent media. Fact check everybody, fact check me by all means. But the problem is that when you're already predisposed to assume that the Trump surrogate is right and corporate media is hiding the truth, you see Sean Spicer talk about a historic win here or there and that way or the other way, and you assume that it's true, and you assume corporate media is lying about easily provable facts. You look at any election counter, I mean, maybe there are some completely bogus popular vote counters, and you see that Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by nearly 3 million votes. We have an echo chamber now, a self-fulfilling prophecy, where you have Trumpists wanting to believe everything they hear on corporate media isn't true. There are many things that aren't true or that are exaggerations or distortions, but a lot of the facts are still gotten correct on corporate media. And then you see a Trump surrogate denying that reality, and now you feel justified in your belief that isn't at all backed by the facts. This is why, even though it is so hard to believe that Trump is going to make America great again for the average American, many Trumpists, no matter what he does, will come away believing that he did make America great again. And this is why, I know not everybody agrees with me on this. This is why convincing 2016 Trumpists to vote for somebody else in 2020 if Trump runs is not the path forward for progressives. It's making progressive turnout so high that it doesn't matter if every Trumpist votes to reelect him in 2020. I think that this is a fundamental reality that progressives need to accept.